This segment is sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Y'all can give us a call right here at 615-737-7767 with any questions or comments you may have about tonight's show or just fishing,
anything
hunting in general,
Yep.
whatever you got to talk
Whatever
about.
we can help you with.
I tell you, Anthony, while we got just a minute, there was some new information released today.
I'm glad you said that because I was wanting to talk about that.
You know, got to do with the CWD zones and a little bit of change going on. So explain that just a little bit there, everybody.
Well, what it was, it first come out that they added 2 counties in Unit CWD. Well, they retracted that. But there is 2 counties now that where they found another positive deer in Madison County that's within the 10-mile radius of Gibson County and Crockett County. So what they did, they implemented the no feed and mineral ban on those and the transportation ban on those. Those 2 counties are now high-risk counties, but they didn't put them officially in Unit CWD because, you know, the season changed. Our season, Unit CWD season, is different from the rest of the state.
So the seasons in those counties are
stays
not
the
going to
same.
be changed.
Until the commission meets, if they even table that, their seasons are going to be just like Unit L.
Yeah, right. So you still got the ban, you know, with the mineral and the feeding and transport.
And transportation,
but you don't have the muzzleloader seasons, you know.
Starting the 28th, that's right. Yeah, don't be sitting in Gibson and Crockett with a muzzleloader on the 28th when it starts your season.
Yeah, it won't be a good day for you if you do.
And I promise you it's going to happen, though.
Yeah,
I know it's going to happen, sadly.
So we don't want anybody getting confused about that, and we'll keep y'all updated as we learn more about this. It seems like every week just about there's something new coming out.
And you know, Brandon, when as more and more, you know, it was a little over 1,100 deer killed the first weekend of archery season. So I say about another 9 to 10 days, it's going to be some more reports. I bet Shelby County goes positive the first week.
So what can be done? What can anybody do or the state do to try to eliminate the problem? I mean,
well, it's been around since supposedly 1967 in Colorado, Dayton. And to my knowledge, and Brandon, you chime in too if you know, there's not anything that any state has done to...
There's not. They have tried a variety of different things. They have studied and studied and studied. Multiple different wildlife organizations, different state agencies have studied.
I think Utah's got one that's a big study in it.
What they're trying to do, basically, their goal and TWRA's goal with the transportation ban and things like that, is to keep them quarantined, so to speak. You know, kind of keep those particular counties from bleeding over into the neighboring counties, which is why they have like the 10-mile radius and things like that, because you know how quick a deer can travel.
And earlier we were talking, you know, there's people down there seeing 90 deer in a herd.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's some of them dating is 75 to 100 per square mile down there in our county.
I mean, I don't know how it couldn't get diseased unless you have to manage it. I feel, you know, there ought to be more landowners let you go hunt and protect the wildlife and do that. You know, there's got to be something done, I'm sure. But like you said, it's been around a while. I reckon
it has, and now I can't remember for sure. Did you tell me that it was around 40%? They think is
from what Dr. Dan Grove told. I've been to 3 meetings on it. And he said in that southwest part of Hardeman, southeast part of Fayette, that that the prevalence rate could be about 1/3 to 1/2.
Yeah.
So 33 to 50%
are infected.
Yeah. So when you got 75 deer a square mile,
there's 35 to 40 of them.
That's possibility. That's exactly right.
So it's just going to kill
some major changes.
You know, and if a doe is pregnant and she has CWD,
well, they do too.
Then those 2 fawns, or 1 fawn, 2 fawn, or triplets, they'll be dead within 2 years.
Right.
Because they're going to have it too.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's you know, it is. It's eye-opening when you really sit back and look at the the longevity, as far as how long it's been around.
And I'm going to give you something else. It ain't no different than Asian carp in the waters. I mean, you've got an infection of something that's going on deer hunting, and you have an infection of our waterways. It's just got the Asian carp just run wild. So it's still the same whether you're on the water or on the land.
Yeah. Well, in West Tennessee, you could add turkeys to that mix, because I'm telling you, our turkeys are disappearing
taking a hit
quick. quick.
They have, and there's other pockets of the state where they say they've all but
Right.
just disappeared.
Yep.
You know.
I mean, I know at some pockets that it's a lot, but it's some. I know it's probably been about 6 years ago on my bottom food plot, 9 acres. I had 175 turkeys in there one afternoon. Not no more. You'll sit down there all day long. You might see one. That's it.
And that's what I'm asking. Is it an overpopulation problem?
I don't know.
You know,
that no one's letting you hunt?
different parts of the state, I think, have different issues. Now, where Anthony is, he doesn't have the kind of development that we have where we're from.
Right.
I think a lot of what's gone on in some of the areas like where we're at, Dayton, is that you have so much development around that the wildlife is pushed into smaller and smaller and smaller areas. Well, along with the wild, what we're talking, turkeys and deer and all that. Well, so are your coyotes, your foxes, your possums, your coons.
Everything.
Well, it's not that hard for a coon to find a nest of turkey eggs when she don't have but 10 or 12 acres worth of land to stay on. And so I think a lot of that in our area, it has to do with a lot of things like that. And wet years can make it hard. It can, depending on when guys start cutting hay. There's a lot of different factors that can make turkey populations swing big time.
Plus the price of furs.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I'm telling you, that makes people
Nobody
don't realize.
has any need to trap.
That's right.
I mean, exactly. Hey, when I was a kid, we could trap red fox and gray foxes, get $75 a piece
Yep.
for them when I was 12, 13
Them
years
days are
old.
gone.
Yeah, you can forget all that.
Who do we
Sure
have
can.
on one? We got a caller here.
Yeah. I didn't hear John.
John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I just tuned in. I was wondering, I know y'all talk about a lot of stuff here, but I was wondering about that chronic wasting disease. I hear it has 2-year gestation period or whatever you call it. If it takes that long, couldn't it already be up past the zones you have for the wasting disease?
Yes.
It could.
Yes.
I mean, you're absolutely right. And there have been deer that have been 18 months and up to 2 years before they showed any signs of the disease. So, I mean, you're correct about that. And so until they're tested, which the deer obviously has to be dead to be tested, but until they're tested, they could have carried it for 18 months.
Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I know
to
they
that.
did test some fawns last
And
year.
so
that was
you're
killed.
absolutely right.
And
I mean, they could be well outside the lines of what we think they are
Yes.
right now. And Anthony and I both agree too that once they start doing so much more testing this year, you're going to see more counties added to the list, and you're going to see it spread because of more testing. You're going to start finding more deer.
and the numbers are going to skyrocket.
Yeah.
I'm just going but it's not that it's really that worse. It's just that it's the more testing done, the more you're going to
When
find.
you're not testing them, you're not going to know.
That's
Well,
right.
I mean, it's an overpopulation, correct?
Okay.
Not really.
It's not.
I just wondered
No,
because
it's really not.
I live up in Dixon County, and I was just wondering. I eat does every year. I take 2 or 3. I'm not sure about eating them now because I don't know if it's a year or 2 that it could be already here.
Well, you can still get them tested, and of course, the CDC recommends not eating any deer really unless you test it. But then, if it's positive, they recommend do not eat it.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to hurt me in my freezer. I know that.
It is a lot of people. I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate it. I was thinking about that, where the management area is and where I am in conjunction with that, and within a couple of years, it could be here.
Yeah. So far, it hasn't been any in Middle Tennessee, but it wouldn't surprise
See
me
where
if
it
it
shows
is.
up.
That's
That's
right.
Is it kind of on the other side of the river?
Yeah, it's all in West Tennessee right now. Yeah, it sure is.
Okay. Yeah, I know they swim the river too, but that goes,
Yes.
man, it's less like it. All right, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you so
you.
much for calling.
Uh,
All right, guys, it's time to go over and do this week's tip of the week. This week's tip of the week is being sponsored by Phoenix Custom Quality Rods, and I tell you what, they make a fantastic series of spinning rod, bait casting rods. They've got them all. You can reach out to them at phoenixrods.com. You can also find them on Facebook or give them a call at 562-924. I've lost the end of that number, so I hope you guys got it.
Hey, man.
What do you got, Dayton?
Man, your freezers are full of deer meat from last year. You got fish from last year. Go ahead and get that stuff out, get it cooked up, and get ready for the new year. Don't let it sit in the freezer long. it'll waste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's right.
Give
if
it
you're
to some friends
If
that's
you're
gonna
not
eat it.
going to eat
Yeah.
it, give it to your friends, or have a fish fry, deer cook, get together like a wildlife feast like you have, and give
Yeah,
people
wild game
some. Don't
dinners are
waste
a
it.
great way to share.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
it's
share it
just
with
there's
everybody.
a lot of stuff that people do, and I mean, I got plenty of fish, and I like to share that too. You know,
Yeah.
it's just if you got
Put
an
it out,
extra,
keep it fresh.
I always keep it fresh.
That's
You
right.
know.
Well, guys, we appreciate it very much. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break. When we come back, we got Mr. Tom Courtney in the house with another great recipe for you and some more Southern Woods and Waters.